Hello everyone, welcome to a bonus live on Thursday with Teresa Harper, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am located in the USA. Thank you for joining me. All right. Go ahead and let me know that you're here when you jump on. Say hello. And hi, Tracy. Hope you had a lovely day. Oh, there looks like somebody else is signing on. We'll just wait here just a half a minute or so. See who joins us. I just have one quick project for tonight. Hello, Laura. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys watching. All right. Hope everyone is doing well. Oh, yeah, the cooler weather was really nice. I sat out on the deck for a little while this afternoon. It was kind of nice. Wanted to get some time in before the rain starts and I can't sit out there. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use the Sweet as a Peach bundle. We will also be using the peach dies. And really, we're only going to use one die from this set tonight, and that's this one. It's the trio of peaches. And then we will also be using the tailor-made tags dies. And you might have missed those in the catalog. They are located on page 166. And they are not bundled with anything. They are a standalone die set. And I really like these. So you'll find those there on page 166. Sweet as a Peach is on page 61 in the catalog. All right, so let's set those aside. I've actually already done my die cutting with these. We will also be using the beautifully penned Designer Series paper. This is a celebration free item that you can earn with a $50 purchase. And so you get 4 sheets of 3 double-sided designs in the package. So you get, these are the A side, and then these, the back sides are all black and white. Well, the front side is shades of grayscale, so there we go. So that's, we'll be using those. All right, we have minimal supplies, really. We're going to start by making our box. And this is our template. So we're going to take a piece of basic black cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/8. And we're going to bring in our Simply Scored. and not cover up our directions. And we're going to score on the 4-inch side at 5/8 of an inch. And then we're going to flip it 180 and score it at 5/8 again. Okay, so 5/8 and 5/8. If you wanted to, you could do 5/8 and 3 3/8. But just in case the paper isn't exactly 4, if you do the 5/8 from each end, then it will all come out perfectly. So now we're going to turn it to the 5 1/8 inch side, and we're going to score this at 2 1/4 and 2 7/8. And that's all there is to that. Pretty simple. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of trimming. Let's burnish our score lines first with our bone folder. Just going to fold all of those on the score marks. Okay, simple trimming. We're just going to turn these, I like to trim from this side. We're going to trim these into tabs, and I like to cut on the right of this score line and on the left of this, so that we have a piece that doesn't have a score mark on the long rectangles. Then I'm going to angle cut on those tabs, which will remove the score line completely. And then I'm going to turn it 180 degrees, and I am going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to cut to the right and to the left of those tabs. And then this is going to be our box. Okay. So I'm going to put my I'm going to turn this over to the what I'm considering the right side of the paper at this point. And to this piece, this top piece here, I'm going to add a piece of Designer Series paper. And this piece is cut at 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. And if you have a directional pattern, this needs to be portrait. Okay? So we'll go ahead and add this to our box front. And I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. But you could use liquid glue if you prefer. And then I'm just going to set this down. Okay, so now, because this is a front of our box, we're going to put adhesive here on these two tabs and here on these two sides. Okay. So I'm going to grab out a little bit of tear and tape. And I'm going to put a piece here. And a piece here. And I'm going to make sure that I've got the front of my box. And I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape right along the edge. And do the same thing on this side, right along the edge of that side tab. Right? Then I'm going to burnish that down. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to remove the release paper. Okay, now I'm going to take and adhere this tab. I'm going to fold this side in, and I'm going to adhere this tab to the outside of this. Okay, you can do it to the inside, but if you do it to the outside, then whatever you're putting in your box will not get stuck on this tab. So I'm just going to stand that up and glue that down. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that on the other side. I'm just squaring that up. Okay, then I'm going to remove the backing from my other longer rectangles. And I'm simply going to bring these sides up to meet each other, square up the bottom, make sure this top up here meets and is flat, and then I can give that a press and burnish it with my bone folder. Okay, and there is the beginning of our box. Now let's go ahead and add our, you'll need to cut from, okay, when you cut your basic black cardstock at the 4 by 5 1/8, you'll have another piece left over, and out of that piece you can cut 2 of the largest rectangles in basic black. Okay, and it will fit right on the other side of that piece of paper. And then you're also going to need to cut from the beautifully penned designer series paper another tag of the same size. So you'll have 2 basic black and 1 designer series paper. From a scrap of basic white cardstock, you're going to want to cut the second largest die. Okay, so you'll need that as well. And then the rest of your scrap will be for stamping. From the basic black, you will also need to cut the D rings. And excuse me, it cuts 3 at a time. So with that other half of the cardstock that you cut, you should be able to get all of those pieces. So let's go ahead. We are going to add our designer series paper to one of our tags. And I like to, let's get my silicone mat. I like to just take some liquid glue and on the top of the black, just add some liquid glue. And then you can just lay this down. Make sure that your hole meets. Corners are all even, sides are even, the bottom's even, and then I like to flip it over and burnish it really well. Okay, so now we have this piece. Let's go ahead and do our stamping and our die cutting. So on our white tailor-made tag, we are going to get a scrap piece of paper, and from Pear Pizzazz, we're going to take the leaf image and we're going to ink that up. And we're going to stamp this down like so. All right. And then on our scrap piece of white, we're going to take the peaches, the trio of peaches, and we're going to turn those into lemons. My Daffodil Delight needs to be massaged. It's pretty inky. So I'm going to massage that with my spoon. Ugh. And stick my finger in there. Obviously, I'm pressing too hard. Then we're going to ink up our, in this case, lemons. My Daffodil Delight is the old style ink pad, and the ink in it foams. So I'm going to take my crushed curry and a dauber, and I am going to dab on a little bit of the crushed curry. And then I'm just going to stamp that down. All right. Okay, so we can set these aside because we're done with those. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and get that flowing. Okay, and then I'm just going to give a little half crescent of glitter on there. And we are ready for die cutting. So we're going to use the Mini Boss. Hello, Mary. Glad you could join us. And we're going to get our plates. And our trio die here. Use a little bit of Post-it tape to hold those in place. Okay, so there's our lemons. And like I did on Tuesday, I'm going to take and trim out where the lemons meet the branch. You wouldn't need to do this, but it's something that I like to do, so I do. All right, so then we're just going to take and adhere these with a little bit of liquid glue. To our branch. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these up. I want it to pop up just a little, but not too much. So I'm going to use some mini glue dots to give that just the tiniest bit of height. I put that on. And then I'm going to add my D-ring to this. A little bit of liquid glue, and I got a little carried away. What did I do with my silicone mat? Oh, I buried it. Okay, and then I'm just going to add this to the top of my piece. Line that up. And the liquid glue allows me to wiggle that into place. Okay. And I'm going to add this focal image to my designer series tag here. And I'm going to add this so that my holes line up and my tag is centered as best as I can. And again, with the liquid glue, I can wiggle that right into place so that those holes line up. And then I'm going to take the Memento Black ink, and I'm going to take the stamps Hello and Friend, and both of these are in the Sweet as a Peach. And I'm going to stamp these right here at the bottom, like so. Now, this is ready to add to our treat packaging. So we're going to add this to the front of our box, making sure that our bottoms line up. And because my tag is taller, I'm going to eyeball where I want my glue, and then I'm just going to put some glue on the front here. And then I'm going to center this. And stand my box up and hold that for just a minute while the glue adheres. Might be just a tad off. That's okay. We're just going to go with that. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to take my bone folder and really give that a good burnish. And then I'm going to take my other tag and I'm going to put it on the opposite side of the box, on the back. And I'm going to try and line that up so that they're in the same spots. So again, I'm going to take my liquid glue and put it on my box. And then I'm going to add this. Making sure those are across from each other. Then I'm going to lay my box flat. And again, I'm going to use my bone folder on the inside to burnish that glue. All right. So there is our basic box. Now I sized this box to fit specifically 3 lemon crisp Kit Kats. These were limited edition. So I've got those, but you could fit any Kit Kat miniatures. 3 would fit in this box. Okay, so I've got 3 of those. Then I'm going to take the gingham ribbon that's in the mini catalog, and I'm going to thread that through the front tag, through the back tag, and then I'm going to give myself some ribbon length here, about that, and I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to take a bow. I'm not going to tie a knot. I'm just going to make a bow. I might have quite a bit too much ribbon here. And then I'm going to wrap this around here, push it through, grab that tail, pull it through the loop, then I'm going to zhuzh up my bow, and I'm going to trim that off. And there is our project for tonight. I hope you like that. Hello, Jennifer. So that is a way that you can use the Sweet as a Peach bundle and not have it look like peaches. Now, if you stamp your leaves a little bit higher or lower, depending on how you stamp your leaves. This one I put the hello and the up to the left and the friend down to the right, but this one I stamped the leaves a little higher, so I put the hello friend all down in the corner there. Oh, Tracy, you're right. That would be really cute with a small package of lemon drops. Oh, hi, Irene. Thank you. All right, so that is our project for tonight. I will be back on Tuesday night for my regular Tuesday Night Live next Tuesday at 7:45. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.